Hi, my name's Phil Bowman and I'm here at the LAS exhibition, Lincolnshire Artists Society. These are my two pieces in the exhibition. The top one is called Road to Ronda, Ronda in Spain, not Ronda in Wales. The other one is Nighttime Ronda. So both paintings from trips to Spain. I went with fellow artists Tracy Smith and Rachel Rogers, and very productive trip. We normally go to Granada. This was something different, following in the footsteps of David Bomberg, famous British artist. But it's good to be back at Doddington with fellow members of the Lincolnshire Artists Society. Yeah, the palette is, there's lots of purples in the horizon, which again reappears in the rooftops of the nighttime scene. It's a colour I use very sparingly, but it just gives it a bit of a wow factor. The road is very abstracted, it's very flattened, and it just becomes really an abstract scribble. So it's continuing battle between realism and abstraction in my work.
Have you done them on site?
No, these were done from a mixture of sketches and photos, and then working back in the studio, back in Lincoln. But we did work out in the field throughout that week, sketches and watercolours, and some pastel work in the case of Rachel, and drinking and eating in the evening. So the best of both worlds.
What are you working on right now?
Right now I'm working even smaller than these panels on little abstract still lifes and landscapes, hoping to return onto bigger work soon. Got 3 exhibitions this year, so it's been a case of cataloguing and collecting work together, so it's been impacting on how much work I actually get done at the moment.
You've been with LAS for how long?
I've been with the LS since the late 70s. I did find an invoice for a painting I'd sold in 1984. So this was a screen print, that's the invoice from Charles Speed when we were the Lincolnshire and South Humberside Artists Society. So briefly, the northern part of Lincolnshire split to South Humberside. And my prices have gone up a little bit since then, but it was very rewarding to show this screen print in the Usher Gallery. This is a little self-portrait, well actually it was a big painting, and it's called Self-Portrait Age 7 with the Arapaho Indians on my dad's allotment. So there are my dad's chrysanthemums, the imagined Indian friends, and me dressed as a sheriff. These National Health glasses, which I've been wearing since 18 months old, and was told at 30 I'd no need to wear them. Now I'm elderly and my arms are longer. I need glasses quite regular.
What did you like about these scenes?
I thought it was nice to try and paint something from the past with no source material, just trying to go back in time to what you were like when you were 7. And at that age, life was so exciting. You know, my dad's allotment was the prairie. It was full of Indians and cowboys and cavalry.
If you could choose a time in England, what would it be?
Oh, it's hard. I quite like now, but I suppose the 70s, 80s was quite exciting, for my generation anyway. But life's exciting now. Now I'm not. I spent most of my time as a printer, which was very solitary, and now I have I get annoyed by lots of people bugging me now in galleries and stuff, and it's quite good fun. Yeah, there's a bustle and bubble of people always, so the camaraderie of the art world is great. This is the first book that was brought out by Edward Mayer about the Society, and it's a really in-depth history of the society, starting as the Lincoln Drawing Club in 1906, then becoming the Lincolnshire Artists Society, and we first showed in the Usher Gallery in 1927, but originally in stables on Monk's Manor, which is ironic that we're now in a converted barn. So we started in humble beginnings before finding our urban home in the Usher Gallery, and now we're here in our country residence at Doddington Hall.
How would you say that the society evolved over the years?
I mean, it's evolved. It started with artists that would go into Antwerp and Paris and down to London to study. In later years we had refugees from the Second World War, the likes of Tony Bartle, escaped from a labour camp, eventually tagging himself on with the Soviet army, getting to Vienna, then to England to finally teach and paint in Lincoln. Likewise, Eric Deutsch escaped just before the outbreak of the Second World War and became a prominent member of the Lincolnshire Artists Society. It's not just been Lincoln-centric, it's people from various parts of the world have found their home in Lincoln, and the society's been very important for them, not just for their art, but for their well-being. It's got a society with a strong sense of purpose and depth. Tony Bartle was a big influence coming from Czechoslovakia. He was also a very exuberant sort of personality who gathered important people around him.
Medina Hamad
Medina
from Sudan.
Hamad, yeah, whose father was Sudanese. I can remember Medina first coming to Lincoln. A lot of people come to Lincoln with the intention of leaving, but Lincoln has a habit of grabbing hold of people, and she's been here since I think the 80s or probably early 90s.
I understand from Rachel Rogers that you will show with her in London?
Yes, in February the 3rd, day after my birthday, we're back in London, in Mayfair, with myself, Rachel, Tracy and Ellie Benton, Tracy Smith, Rachel Rogers and myself. So that should be very exciting and great fun as well, I think.
Are you still teaching?
Still teaching one day a week and 2 full days a month. Yeah, it's very rewarding. I understand you had Ellie dancing earlier. We had her dancing yesterday, and we were drawing her while she was moving, or freeze framing her while she was drawing. Well, we were drawing, sorry. She's come to Lincoln, there's lots going on. The Usher Gallery at the moment is going through a major rehang, but once that's in place, the lighting will be improved. A lot of money's been spent on the Usher, so come to the Usher Gallery. Also my little gallery at St Martin's. At the moment we've got Anne Mays, who's also in my Wednesday afternoon group. We've got Janet Schooley, who's a member of the LAS. She'll be in next week. And we've got a good connection with Harding House. We're also getting excited to see Indigo Crow, which is a new gallery, which I think Eve Marshall and Sally Kane are instrumental in setting up. So there's lots of little independents, as well as the Usher kicking around in Lincoln, who's come along.
How can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram, Phil K. Bow on Instagram, also Gallery at St Martin's on Instagram. I understand the LAS obviously have a website, Lincolnshire Artists Society. We keep using the acronym LAS. Must remember the full name of Lincolnshire Artists Society. So they have a website and an Instagram page and a Facebook page.